what those career paths look like. And these are true professionals that deliver these programs, that are life welders or life mechanics, and are wanting to give that message. The sawmill that you'll see in the center is one similar to another. We had another initiative this year in Winnipeg, where we brought there was an interest. We met with chief and council and some of the community people, and the councillor from the school wanted to start an initiative where they revitalized the logging industry that had just as an education piece for the students. So we brought in a miller and if that's the right term, Sawyer, sorry, and I think they did 10 cords of wood that in 4 or 5 days. The kids were trained, safety aspects were adhered to, and they built the wood that's being used this year in the industrial arts lab. So again, it's about showing them what opportunities are there, and there's already a second phase to that we're scaffolding them. I think they've already had it.
We've done the second phase, yes.
And Manitoba Hydro is a constant. They need the next level of all of the jobs that are in northern Manitoba. I shouldn't say that all, but there is a significant number of tradespeople needed in northern Manitoba. So anytime that we put these events together, where we have a collection of students. There was 300 students, or roughly 300 students in 2 days that we brought to Minigazebe from partner schools that were just down the highway. We bus kids in, and they'd have a day on the road, exciting little time. And Manitoba Hydro is just a call away. They'll come and present, and we can use them in a very positive way to excite students about possible career paths in that area. The Career X program that we've been running for the last few years has had a significant influence now by the Northern Manitoba Mine Academy, just down the highway here at Cranberry Portage. They let us bring the students in, and they take them through all of the streams that mining has, not all, but a significant number of job or career opportunities that they get to actually experience. They work with the microscopes and with the head geologist that runs the program, but they'll also let them get into the equipment operator simulators. You'll see a couple of the photographs. I can't tell you, I was like a rock star. They trained me on this piece of equipment, and it's an underground rock truck from the Clough Lake Diamond Mine, I believe, and the students get to drive this equipment. It's an equipment simulator that is exactly the one that they use to train individuals on before they get into the three-dimensional one that they have at the college, and the kids could not get enough of it. There was one young lady, this one that's smiling at me right there on the left. She came back at recesses. And even the next day when the older students were in, she came back at the recesses too to get extra time on the equipment. Yeah. She wanted to drive the truck. And I can't say enough about the collaboration that we've had with Rob Penner and his crew at the Northern Manitoba Sector Council and the Northern Manitoba Mine Academy and the Northern Manitoba Sector Council. They've been a huge piece of that partnership. When we talk about these partnerships, it's about it is again addressing that engagement piece that has been a returning theme. These folks that we've partnered with absolutely are not just feeding us a line. They have direct connection or opportunities that they wish for our students in a very genuine way. And I can't be happier about how this has been developing over the year. And
I think just to add to that, the importance of University of Manitoba and the engineering department. They send out 4 of their students to us for the week, and they provide real hands-on, tangible engineering workshops for our students. And CareerX has been growing significantly. In its infancy, there was probably 40 kids, and I think last year we almost topped out at the camp at almost 100 people, including chaperones. So it has gained a lot of interest within the division, and that program is primarily geared towards grade 8 students and only grade 8 students within our division. And Grant's new Explore Options program, again, going to that national commonality of engaging kids in that grade 5 to 8 has had a significant impact on our kids just to get their minds thinking about it, because traditionally kids enter high school, grade 9, they struggle a little bit, and then grade 10 they have to start engaging with a career counselor to say, what do you want to do? And without having some of those conversations at an earlier age, our northern students typical have those northern mindsets that I'm going to be a teacher, or I'm going to be a nurse, or I'm going to be a lawyer or a doctor. And having these trades, and specific to the vocation stuff, because it's very it's in everybody's heart. The partnerships that we've created in the north it's exponential, and I think Grant will agree. The last 18 months, there's been so much growth with the partners in the north. It's really embraced what we do, because we've been in a position where we can expand our programming with the support of these institutions. And the nice part about it, when the institutions come, it doesn't usually cost the division a great deal of money for in-kind contribution. So it's been fantastic in that nature. And the people at UCN, Rob Penner and his crew, it's been great. And the sector council, we can't say enough about what they've done for us.
One of the things too that with Wisekinetic Energy, the University of Manitoba crew that comes, they will morph their delivery to what we ask. Like mining was a big piece of what we did last year. So the events that they did with the students reflected those career paths that they would explore, different ideas within it. The year prior to that was conservation, and this year we're having a conversation about safe water. Of course, it's been in the news a lot this last year, but it's in every community, many of our communities. It's a very real concern, and they have the opportunity to deliver those programs at the ground level, basically, before a student, as a student is transitioning into those high school years, looking at what's important in their career path. And we have the ability, with what you'll see in the next page, about how we can start changing the delivery with EOP and 4+1.
Now we're at the high school level, and this is where Grant and I lose hair and sleep over, just in regards to preparing these programs. Probably a great wise man from Cranberry Portage by the name of Dan Reagan has instituted most of these programs. I'm sure most of you in viewing are aware of Dan and his great mind. EOP, Expanded Options Program, probably started about 7 or 8 years ago, engaging a different type of delivery for vocational programs within the division, where every October and every May the division had a common week where we would deliver these programs in Cranberry Portage. And various programs would include building construction, power mechanics, native art, jewelry making, hairstyling, health careers, robotics, and a plethora of other courses that we've delivered over the last 8 years. And it's been a real engaging component for some of our smaller schools where they don't have the ability to deliver these types of programs. And for our new partner schools that have joined Frontier in the last 5 years, this has been something that has been completely new to them. And I know our latest school, Black River, are deeply involved in expanding options program at the school level, wanting to change some of their high school delivery timetabling to adapt some of these programs so we can support them in delivering at the local level. EOP has been probably evolving at an exponential rate, not only in numbers but also in quality. I think this past October, I think we surpassed all of our expectations in the engagement level of students and just the quality of the programming that was delivered. We went down the robotics road this year, and it was tremendous response, not only from the students but from the teachers that came with the students, because we made it a prerequisite that the classroom teacher came with their students, because we're doing a follow-up with the robotics, and we've got a little bit of a robotics club within those 16 students currently. And it's been a fantastic opportunity, and again, creating an additional partnership with some federal departments, with ICTAM and Cognation, the company that is supporting us in that. Grant, EOP, you're the man for EOP.
Well, the EOP is always delivered on a half credit idea, where they'll take, in October they get a quarter of the credit, and they'll return in June for the second half of that credit. And these are all with a half credit that they would not have been able to get in the regular school day. And also give them an opportunity to take a look at a specific career path. So the EOP menu changes from year to year, depending on what's trending. Mechanics is fairly common, because it goes into so many different, transportation trades and mining sector, hydro, highways, MIT. They all have real needs, and if we can start convincing students or have that in a very real conversation with professionals delivering the lessons, the students have an opportunity to get an idea prior to getting, again, it's about that transitioning into high school and where their career paths may lie. So from some of the conversations that we've had since I joined Frontier School Division, we've had now people come to us, or organizations come to us. One of the richest partnerships that we've developed over the last 2 years has been with the Office of the Fire Commissioner. Every community has needs for ambulance and firefighters. And we were trying to find ways to excite students in that avenue. And with the EOP, a couple of years ago, we had just a small half credit. We called it heavy industrial technology. Is just the credit that we give for that delivery. But the students had a chance to just take a peek at what a day in a firefighter's life is like. This year, though, we did a full-on with the middle portion there. What the 4+1 program is, it's a high school credit, but it is all in for 104 hours. And this was a cadet program. We call it a pre-cadet program that the Office of the Fire Commissioner and ourselves spent many hours finding. We had 7 different trainers that came in during the delivery for the 3 weeks in January, and they would work weekends and evenings. And the idea was that they get the true life experience of what the diploma program that runs at the Fire College, the 10-month program, would be like. This is actual hands-on. We brought in a fire truck. They brought in all specialists from the Fire College or from the Northern Manitoba Sector Council, and the Mine Academy did some training for hazmat and WMIS for us as well. So we did search and rescue. They did some pump operation. They did Jaws of Life, vehicle extrication, thank you, ma'am. But the whole idea, though, was to give them the absolute truest experience that they could. So they were outside rolling hose. They were, in 30 below, and they were working with, the water and the pump, with real life winter experience. We gave them first aid, emergency first aid, CPR. There was a group. The group was absolutely as good as it possibly could be. It was from the geographic map of Manitoba. We had students from Churchill. We had 7 different communities represented in that community, right from Winnipegao, Birdtail. It was fantastic. And all just we just put the prerequisite good physical shape, under 21 or under 22 years of age, and we could have probably done twice the number, but it was very exciting. So we did all firefighting this particular event, and we're in negotiation now for the Officer of Fire Commissioner to do paramedic in June, and so that's like that would be a whole the other side of the firefighter paramedic diploma program. So that's very exciting.
In addition to the firefighting, it wasn't just our frontier communities. We actually had 2 students from Nelson House First Nation, and they were knocking on the door, and we said absolutely, because it is a need for the North, and it's just not frontier. So creating those partnerships and providing those other opportunities to our First Nation communities in the North is very important to us. Along with CareerX, we open up CareerX to the entire North. We send an invitation out to all First Nation communities in Northern Manitoba, and we actually get quite a number of visiting communities. We've had students from Tuduli Lake, we've had students from Lac Brochet, from Split Lake, Cross Lake, and it's been very good. So an opportunity for them to come and experience the way the Frontier family operates.
Some of the other things that we did this year that are unique, again, the 4+1 single credits always are based on further further programming, larger theory training. Like the Carve the Market was a real unique opportunity that came this month. Right here, a local carver who's renowned for his work, Muskie, is Irvin Head, pardon me, sorry, commonly known as Muskie here in Cranberry Portage. He taught a program that the students worked with antler, diamond willow, some wood carving, cedar wood, and also some soapstone, and the young lady there with her little bear that she made. Again, while they were doing these traditional carving methods, he also taught the students how to market their product and how to, if they move further. There was a whole business ideal that Irvin does with his business here in town, and he shared that with the students. It was absolutely phenomenal. Students didn't want to stop for lunch. They would. They did it in we had a remote shop set up, and the students, the minute they were off the bus, they were there engaged doing the job that whatever the task of the day was. And every time I went there, it was exactly what you would want for for a specialized program. It was incredible.
And just to expand upon the 4+1 programming, it instituted itself. We're going on year 3 of it, and for those of you, it does add up to 5. And it is basically, we're taking our 2 semesters. So in a traditional high school, you have 2 semesters, 5 months per semester. So within our changing of our timetable, and it's quite dramatic. I presented it a number of times across the province to other people, and people are very engaged and would love to try it, but I don't know if people have the gumption to make change of that drastic. It is quite drastic, and it is a school buy-in. It's not something that administration can say that we're going to change our timetable and this is what we're going to do next year. You have to have your collective staff working with you. But it takes your traditional 5-month semester and it changes it into a 4-month semester. So you have September, October, November, December. Students will actually write their exams in December, with the exception of students that are doing the provincials, and there's accommodations made for them to write their exams in January. And then in January, the entire high school population has a gamut of courses that they can pick from. So let's say Gillam does it, and they will send students to Cranberry Portage because we provide supplementary programs here on campus in the trades-related areas because we have the expertise and the people here. And we have students that get shipped in from Gillam, and we have approximately 6 schools, high schools, on this adaptive timetable. And it not only embraces different types of programs, but it shows at the school level you have teachers that have hidden talents. And we had a number of teachers in Gillam that embraced it because they were stuck in their traditional science, math as a high school teacher, and they had a great wealth of mental ability. So they were able to share that skill set with their students, and the students got to see the teacher in a different light. So it does create a different environment, and I know in that fact we did a lot of research at the school level on both occasions for both the January and June delivery. And the behavioral referrals to the office was almost nil, and attendance and lates was non-existent. Kids were highly engaged, students were behaving, and the office, the principal had to actually caught up in some of the work because it was a very slow month for them. So I think when we're talking about engaging kids, here's a different method that we've adapted, and we're pushing it with as many schools in our division as we can. I know when you're having a small high school, like for example, we have a school in Snow Lake, they have 40 high school kids. They have been able to adapt their high school timetable to work for them. So if a small school of 40 can do it, it can work for most other schools across the province. It is a little bit outside the norm, but we've had great success with it. And it's not only providing additional opportunities to kids, but it's a re-entry point. And for Northern Manitoba, we have a number of students that may become disengaged in October or November, and we don't see them in December, and they're unsuccessful. Well, here's a mechanism for schools that adapt this timetable that a kid can re-enter in January, be successful in 4 weeks and obtain a high school credit. So there's instead of having your traditional 2 entry points for a school year, being September and February with your semester changeover, you actually have 4 entry points for engaging kids. So you have September, January, February, and June. So programming has gone on with great success. We just finished a month last week with our students, and 97% success obtaining credit. I think we had 2 or 3 kids with incompletes that are going to be doing some follow-up with their schools to make sure that they get the credit, and attendance was 98 or 99% in the classes, and again, behavior and incidences of that nature were non-existent because of the engagement of kids. I know we're on a time crunch and we've only got 6 minutes left, so I want to talk about Engaged Learners quickly. Engaged Learners is a program that's been in the division now for 3 years. It was piloted in Grand Rapids about 3 years ago, and basically what the Engaged Learner program is, it's housed out of the Egg Lake Correctional Center that's owned by OCN, and we have a partnership with OCN to use the facility. It is 16 kilometers south of Cranberry Portage, and what we do from across the division, working with our high schools and our adult ed centers, is we're engaging students in the communities that have been either in absentia or have just dropped off the face of the earth, or they're too busy dabbling in other activities that can get them into trouble, or just sitting in front of the TV playing video games. Typically, these kids have been disengaged from education from anywhere from 6 months to 2 years, and in some cases even longer than that. We take these students to the camp. Typically, it's on a 3-week rotation. We bring them in and we do a host of programming with them. Currently we have 15 young men that were completely disenfranchised from education about 18 months ago, and they are 3 months away from completing the build of a house and also becoming level 1 apprentice. 15 of these young men, the majority of them, have had trouble with the law. They've seen something that is tangible to them. They're at the camp for themselves, not for the great people that are working there, because they see this as an avenue that's going to change their life. So we have that cluster of 15 young men, and attendance is about 99%. These young men are up at dawn, and they're working on that house until the sun sets at about 5 o'clock every night. And it's tremendous to see these young men, and we hope to get some young women in this picture soon too, because it's important to have women's in the trades. But to see where they've come as a young man, from being in a difficult situation to having something that's able where they can integrate into industry. And again, cradle to career, we've already got a plan in place to hold these hands after June to make sure that we get them to that next step. And kind of the 4+1 in the Engaged Learners, there's a lot of collaboration between those programs, and those 3 programs that we have on the board are pillars, and they provide a great deal of opportunity to our students in the division, and it's provided a lot of success, and it has a huge impact when you see faces. I stopped by the camp last night at about 10, and the guys were up, and I had a truckload of equipment that I needed to get off, and they were just lining up, let's go get it done, and they were praising to me. We got the vapor barrier up last night in the house. We're going to be drywalling the ceiling this week, or today, and just to see that look in their face where, 18 months ago, nobody knew who these kids' names were. And to see them being part of something, and we pride ourselves on promoting it, because what we're doing here it has a huge impact not only on the youth, but also our communities, because these young men are going to go back and be successful and be a good part of their community and providing service to their community members.
Just before we flip to the next page, I just wanted to reiterate too, when you see this one slide, that the partnerships again here it's the vital connector for all of these to be successful. The University College of the North has been a huge partner, and it's growing every month. Or every year, I should say. Like we forgot to mention the our health careers. We scouted students that were in grade 9 and want to look at getting into health, any of the health careers. We housed them, those students in particular were housed at Egg Lake, and they were bused into UCN every day, and they did healthcare aid and dental assistant, and actually got time in clinic, and they will do more of that in June. But it absolutely gives them a window of what the college has to offer. We already do the power mechanics and welding in a partnership with our existing shop, our brand new power mechanics shop, thanks to the TVE, and the provincial government has blessed us with that great. It's a great shop. It's very versatile, and it's going to serve us for many years to come. And we have either the UCN staff come and augment what we do here, or we send our students there. And it's been developing over the last few years in a more permanent way.
I think we have a couple of minutes left, and I just want to talk about a couple of our initiatives. And we pride ourselves on housing, and we've come full circle on campus here at Cranberry Portage, because the building that we're building houses in, I believe, a wise man in the community told me he did it back in the 70s, and it's come full circle. The two houses up in the left-hand corner, the Burgundy homes, those were turned over to Manitoba Housing in November. They're 1,178 1,200 square foot homes, ICF foundations, and from stern to bow, the kids did everything that you see in that picture. They did the basements, they did the houses, and one of the houses has an augmented solar panel heating system, which is quite intricate, and hopefully will show a benefit to the family and the dwellers that live in that home. I wish we had finished product with the landscaping done, but it was a great project for us, and we do have a memorandum of understanding with the province and Manitoba Housing to deliver more buildings over the next 4 to 5 years. And we're currently doing one house in Moose Lake, and shortly we'll be starting another house in the hangar for another frontier community of Cormorant Lake. You see a picture in the right-hand corner. It was -40 in December last year, previous year, sorry. Coldest winter in 100 years, and our kids were out there dressed to the nines, and we made sure that they were safe in that regard, doing the basements with our instructor, Maurice Beauchamp. And in the bottom corner are the two houses that we're building right now. These two houses are actually going to be built by our students for our teachers to live in. These two houses, I believe the tentative locations is actually, one is going to be situated here in Cranberry Portage, and the other one will be located in South Indian Lake. These are smaller one-bedroom units for our teachers, but that grassroots, we're talking about grassroots and engagement. Here's an absolute picture of our own students building our own homes for our staff, and it gives quite pride, not only for us, but I think the students take a lot of pride in it, that they have the ability to do that, and they can go around to those communities and say, you know what, teacher, I built the house that you're living in. So it's a win-win for everybody. And here's just go ahead.
So I was just going to say, this slide is just, we put it out, it could be 100 different pictures here. And we wanted to show sort of diversity in what we can deliver on any given time. Like I said, all of these programs, EOP, 4+1, and our early years initiative, all can be changed depending on what community asks or what administrators ask. It's the biggest piece of what we do is to coordinate what the student and the extensions of the community would like us to do. And that's what we're here for.
And I know we're over time, but just to close off, there are some things that we do, we are very thankful for, and I think that's one of the biggest thanks, I think, from our perspective and the way we drive our programming is we wouldn't be in this situation today if we didn't have the thoughtfulness and the professional input that Superintendent Federchuk has provided us. And not only that, but to facilitate all of these programs, we utilize her campus here in Cranberry Portage to deliver these, which then is a great recruiting tool for our cluster programs here as the majors on campus. So without her support over the number of years and her vision, I don't think the division would be where we're at today without her thoughtfulness in that manner. So just our thank you to you in that, and we know you're our partner it's a great partnership that we have with campus here from a divisional perspective, but just like to say thank you to everyone, and I'll give Grant the floor to close off.
Well, without too much time left on the clock, I guess, all I can say is I'm proud every day of what we can do, and prouder every day of what we will do. This facility and what it can bring to northern Manitoba and to all of Manitoba is a phenomenal opportunity for our students and for our communities. Thank you very much.
And for those in Cyberland, if you're ever in the area, please make sure you either speak with Kathy or Grant, and they'd be more than welcome to take you on a tour of the facilities. And if you can come in January or June, it's a hub of activity, and we are also going to be hosting a TVLC meeting for all the vocational people in the province in May, so it's going to be a nice opportunity for us to engage that crowd in showing the great work that we do here at Frontier. Thank you very much.
Thank you.